and welcome to part 2 of my top 50 Mario Kart Wii CTGP series, where we will rank the number 37 through number 25 tracks. Now, I just want to address a few things. Number 1, Tom Brady is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's crazy. Number 2, I hope you are all enjoying your coronavirus break if you have off from school. And number 3, please check out my Plants vs. Zombies series if you haven't. I know, shameless self-promotion. Anyway, on to the video. At number 37, we have Windmill Village. This track reminds me of Delfino Square in a way. Not quite as good as that track, but it has that humble, quiet town feel to it. I mean, you do have those Piantas cheering you on at the beginning. You get kind of the same vibe as you get from Delfino Square there. But there are some differences. There's an underwater section with some Cheep Cheeps, and towards the end you get to drive on these wooden bridges. It doesn't do anything incredible, but it's really just a chill track that I enjoy. At number 37, we have Nightlife Party. This track definitely defines short but sweet. There is certainly a lot of colorfulness, and there's a section where it reminds me of sort of the texture from SNES Rainbow Road in terms of its color. It certainly has this party-like atmosphere, as seen in the title. You can see confetti everywhere and just this general brightness. Thwomps and Koopa Cape shockers are interesting obstacles. For a short track to make this list, it has to be exciting and catch my attention. And that is exactly what this track does. At number 35, we have COMET STARWAY. The difficulty on this one is definitely cranked up a bit. There's a lot of narrow roads where you gotta be careful on when driving, kinda like Wii Rainbow Road, actually. It even has that same kind of texture to it from Wii Rainbow Road. There's some rainbowy colors, as well as a lot of yellow stars. It also reminds me of 3DS Rainbow Road in a way, in that it definitely has more of that outer space feel to it. You can see Saturn in the background, and the Comet Starway sign is definitely outer space-ish. This track, much like many you'll see on this list, wouldn't be a bad Rainbow Road. At number 34, we have Sunset Forest. I think of it as a better version of DK's Jungle Parkway, and quite frankly I'm surprised that that wasn't the music chosen here. The track design is a bit more fun than DK's Jungle Parkway, with giant Goombas, you know I love those guys from Supermassive Galaxy, plus some speed boosts along the way. There's a giant leap towards the start of the lap that is pretty exhilarating. Plus the atmosphere is quite pretty, as the title suggests. It is a sunset. So like number 37 Windmill Village, nothing super special or unique, it's just a nice chill track that I enjoy. At number 33 we have Nostalgic Bowser's Castle. Real quick side note, this track is found in the Me Outfit C Cup. Me Outfit C. That is just proof that they were running out of ideas for cup names, and yet no Waluigi Cup. Alright, very off topic, I'm sorry. Anyway, this track is a lot like N64 Bowser's Castle, it's very similar. But the question we must ask ourselves, is that a bad thing? No, not when it's one of the better Mario Kart tracks of all time. And here we have similar thwomps, staircases, fieriness, and getting around that rail. It's pretty close to being a retro track, I'll admit it, but isn't N64 Bowser's Castle really cool? At number 32, we have Warp Pipe Island. This is like Koopa Cape's little brother. Not quite as good as that track, but I can definitely see the inspiration here. Of course you are driving through warp pipes, which have those shocker things in them. That's definitely inspired by Koopa Cape. Additionally, you got half pipes, you got a bright blue sky, along with some rainbows in your atmosphere. Now that wasn't in Koopa Cape. Overall, it's definitely the kind of atmosphere that makes me occasionally want to leave the house and go outside during this 2-week break. At number 31, we have Candy Coaster. Quite simply, it's a coaster for candy. You can't go wrong with that. There's ice cream and cakes and chocolate and Yoshi cookies and diabetes. Yep, that's probably me in 50 years. Besides wanting to eat this track, it's actually quite fun. There's lots of little bars to trick off of, there's a section that launches you, and we got our good old pal the Chain Chomp to avoid, along with some chocolate puddles at the start. Those things can get in the way if you're not being careful. At number 30, we have Lost Fortress. There are a lot of cool speed boosts in this track, to say the least. There is a swirling tower in the background, as well as this dark black and blue atmosphere. There's a lot of jumps with, like I said, a lot of speed boosts. and two of them kind of do feel unfair in that they lead straight to death unless you turn a certain way. But hey, that could just be me being stupid and making excuses for that. In any case, it's definitely a track with a lot of speed boosts, but it doesn't overdo them. And the track itself definitely feels engaging. At number 29, we have Volcanic Skyway. You'd think that with a track name like Volcanic Skyway, you'd get an explosive, fiery track, but I think what we have here is a volcano at rest. So really the atmosphere is a chill afternoon day. Kind of like the weather lately. There may be a global pandemic, but at least the weather's been pretty good. Anyway, this track has an epic transition from a speed boost jump up into the sky where you drive on top of this clear terrain. It is really cool, honestly, and driving up there is definitely the highlight of the track. At number 28, we have Flowery Greenhouse. It's a greenhouse that's flowery. That's really what it is. It's a very pretty track filled with lots of different nature-themed stuff. Flowers, dirt, water, plants, and I guess the deserty section with pokies and piranha plants is kind of cool too. You take a lot of leaps in that section, so it's pretty fun. And this is just another cool track idea as well. It's not just your typical boring walk-through nature track, you're actually in a greenhouse. That's very eco-friendly, you know? At number 27, we have Alpine Peak. Okay, so this track definitely reminds me of DK Summit a bit. There's half-pipe, speed boosts, and a snowy atmosphere to start with. So that's definitely reminiscent of DK Summit. But besides that, there's a lot of little houses, and overall it just feels like a happy village with lots of happy little trees. In other words, much of the track looks like something Bob Ross would paint. And if we know how awesome Bob Ross is, this track deserves a spot on the list. At number 26, we have Marble Towers. It's a really interesting combination of Ribbon Road and yet again DK Summit. And all the while it has some sugary stuff going on. It reminds me of Ribbon Road in that it kind of looks as though it takes place in a kid's room. There's windows, colorful wallpaper, and presents. It also reminds me of DK Summit in that there's a lot of fun half pipes to trick off of, candy drops to trick off of, and overall just a lot of tricking opportunities in this track. So there's a bright, vibrant atmosphere combined with a fun track design. Nice. At number 25, we have Lunar Lights. There's a lot of cool tracks that you'll see ahead of this on the list that are like this track in terms of visuals. I'll tell you what I mean. It has this Rainbow Roadish theme to it while also kind of calling back to Mushroom Gorge. It doesn't have those bouncy mushrooms you see in the track, but it does have some similar terrain and decorations. Overall, it's just an incredibly vibrant track, and the dark night sky definitely is a great contrast with the bright colors you see everywhere.